how much Bitcoin should I own in my portfolio?
0.
Why?
Well, because eventually it's going to collapse.
That's why the two things I truly, truly value are my life and my health and my Bitcoins. Everything else, I can figure it out.
Okay, so can you just introduce yourself for like 5 seconds?
My name's Jack.
A little bit more.
And I work on Bitcoin. I've been working on Bitcoin for almost 13 years.
Okay, you're being humble here now. Okay, Jack, why did you buy your first Bitcoin?
Because my dad told me so. I got into Bitcoin when I was 18, and it was because my dad got me into Bitcoin. So the truth is, I got my first Bitcoin because my dad told me it was a good idea.
Can you introduce yourself?
Peter Schiff.
What brings you to a Bitcoin conference?
Well, I'm one of the speakers. So I came here just, I don't know, maybe to spread a little sanity here amongst all the insanity.
What do you think is the insanity here?
Well, just look around you. Look at all these companies that are exhibiting here. Look at the expensive booths, all the high tech. It's all huge waste of money. You know, I mean, all this is all about nothing. You know, you've got pyramids and Ponzi schemes, but you know, money is just moving from one person to another. But there's no real wealth being created, no real value. I think it's a shame that so much money is being wasted when it could be put to productive use.
So we asked people why they bought their first Bitcoin here. Did you ever buy one?
No, I haven't. Some people gifted some Bitcoin to me, but I've never actually bought any.
So why do you believe in Bitcoin still today?
Because no one can make any more of it. I think it's the only thing you can own outside of your own time that is finitely scarce. There's only two things in this life that no matter how much demand, no matter how much more I want, I can't get. Because I can find a way to get more food or houses or cars or travel, but I cannot make more Bitcoin. I cannot live forever. And so that's why the two things I truly, truly value are my life and my health and my Bitcoins. Everything else, I can figure it out.
Okay, so another question we ask people is, why do you still believe in Bitcoin to this day? So why are they crazy in your opinion?
Well, I don't believe in it. I mean, but I think people get greedy and they really don't understand enough about money, and they know a little bit, but not enough, and they get confused and they buy into the narrative of Bitcoin being digital gold, which it's not. It's got nothing in common with gold. But people did get rich who bought it a long time ago and who sell it to the people who are buying it now. But I think the people who are buying it now are the bag holders. They're just going to be left holding the bag when the price collapses, because it's all based on the greater fool concept. You buy it on the expectation that another person is going to be even more foolish and pay an even higher price than you did. And that person buys it expecting another fool to come around to pay an even higher price. But eventually you run out of fools and the market collapses.
Couldn't I say the same about gold? If nobody would buy gold?
No, you can't say the same thing about gold, because gold is an actual commodity that people use. Look, I'm wearing gold. I got a gold bracelet on. I got a gold watch on. There's gold in my cell phone. You may have some gold in your teeth. Gold is an actual metal that is used in industry. So there's real buyers. Plus, gold is a monetary metal as well. Central banks all around the world hold gold. They're buying gold because it's a store of value. But Bitcoin has none of those properties. It's not used for anything, and it doesn't have any value that you can store. It's just a highly speculative digital token. And the price is a function of the supply and demand. How many people want to buy it because they want to bet that it's going up? And that's what determines it. But it's not a real commodity like gold that has real buyers that need it.
So did you ever buy something with your Bitcoin, like Laszlo with his 2 pizzas, where you look back and you regret the price you paid, valued in it today?
Yes, I got a few purchases of that. It's almost like everyone's toll. You got to make that mistake if you're a Bitcoiner. I'll tell you one, there's a painting that I still have to this day. It's a tiny little painting that was probably like $600 at the time, but I paid 6 Bitcoin for it. So I think Bitcoin was about $100 a pop. So today that painting would be worth what, like $650,000 in Bitcoin terms? And the funniest part is when I was living with my childhood buddy, we shared an apartment, he used to tell chicks that would come over and say, this is a very expensive painting, It wasn't. It's a $600 piece of crap. But if it's 6 Bitcoin, yeah, we're almost $1 million painting. So that is one mistake that still hangs on my wall today.
Okay, so now to the most important question. From all the things I could invest in, precious metals, stocks, ETFs, crypto, how much Bitcoin should I own in my portfolio?
0.
Why?
Well, because eventually it's going to collapse. So why own it? I mean, you don't know when to sell it. I mean, if you want to gamble and you want to say how much should I put in Bitcoin, versus take to the racetrack or buy a lottery ticket or go to the casino here. Yeah, if you want to gamble on Bitcoin, you can gamble. But if you're talking about an investment portfolio, I don't think Bitcoin has anything to do with that. It should not be part of an investment portfolio.
You have taken this stance for like 12 years or something?
Yes, and had you listened to me, you'd obviously be much worse off. Yes, well, I've told people that I didn't believe in it, that I thought it was a bubble, a pyramid, but I've always said, even from 10 years ago, the price could go up. I don't know, right? I don't know how high the price can go. I can't recommend that people buy it because I know eventually it's going to crash. But if you want to gamble and you want to take a chance that you can get in and get out, you can do that if you want. But you have to understand what you're doing. But I think most people will end up losing money in Bitcoin, even if they have paper profits now, because they won't sell. That's the whole mantra. Yeah. Buy your Bitcoin and never sell it. Yeah. Or if you never sell it, you're never going to make any money, because all you're going to have is Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin's not going to have any value.
Is there any price point where you would say, like, maybe I was wrong?
No. Is there any price point that you would say you were wrong?
I personally don't have a stance on this at all. Like, I'm just confused and just watching it, but like, it's at 110K now. So if it would be at $1 million, would you still say it's a bubble?
Well, if it does go to $1 million, I still would have my conviction that it's a bubble, just a much bigger bubble. But I would say that it's less likely that it doesn't go to $1 million than that it does. So I think it's probably equally likely that it goes to 1,000 as $1 million. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you very much.
Take care.